Hey everybody. Everyone's. Hey Facebook. Facebook Live, Marriage is Real. Marriage Monday, bless you.
Oh, excuse me. That's how you start.
Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry, my hand gonna be in the way for just a minute. I'm just trying to get up. Angles right.
Alright. Black Love Marriage, what's going on?
This one ain't right.
You got it?
Nope.
Okay.
I think that's good. I just lean because I don't want to be moving no stuff.
Alright.
I just lean in. That's a little better.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. We are getting live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Marriage is Monday.
Marriage is Monday, my favorite.
Marriage Monday.
She Real Black, what's going on?
Thank
y'all so much for joining us.
Hello, Black Love Marriage. Hi. Welcome. Baby, gonna do this?
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of technologies going on, y'all, so we're getting it going. Give us a second.
So,
how was everyone's
how's
weekend?
Everybody's week? Have y'all kids went back to school yet? How's this whole virtual school? If y'all kids are going to virtual school, how's that going? Because right now, so far, it's an adjustment. Let's just say that it's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely adjusting. My baby just be looking so sad and pitiful every day. I hate that for her. I couldn't even imagine when I was in high school doing some virtual, being at home all day, just sitting. Oh Lord, I would have been. I probably wouldn't even got my diploma. Shoot, that's a lot. It's a bit much. But
So
again, welcome to everybody who has joined us so far. Welcome back to the people that follow us and our supporters. And it's Marriage Monday, y'all. It's Marriage Monday.
I got my sidekick back. She's feeling better today. She was down for the count for a minute, but she is back.
My brain headaches ain't no punk.
Looking good, looking, what they say, zesty.
I don't know. Zesty. Do they say that?
I think they say zesty. What's up, Made for Marriage? What's up, Earl? What's up,
like I'm awake.
So, thank y'all so much for tuning in for another Marriage Monday. JT and Danae, I think. Hope I'm saying that right. Thank y'all for joining.
JT and Nene or Nene.
Yeah, thank y'all for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Today's topic.
What we gonna talk about?
What we gonna talk about?
Today we're going to talk about the marriage. Is marriage a business? The business of marriage.
Is marriage a business or is marriage marriage? Is marriage a business relationship or is marriage a marriage relationship?
Oh, what's up, Verdi?
Hey, hey, girl, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Bring hubby on in. Come on, girl.
Oh, Nene, JT and Nene, what's going on? They pronounced it for us.
See, I said that. You talking about Danae. The word is A-N-D, and.
Oh, I didn't see the and. That's my bad, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. So what we're going to talk about tonight is marriage a business / the business of marriage? So many people, especially in the millennial times, talk about marriage being a business. Thank y'all for joining us on our Marriage is Real.
76. Thanks for joining us. I know who that is.
Oh, what's up, fam? That's my brother right there.
And we're also going to add a caveat also onto this marriage business. Remember I said?
I'm just tuned in.
Because I just feel like it needs to be out there in the universe for those people who are maybe considering this or not. Let me just say these two simple words for you in your marriage. Don't quit. Don't quit. Look, don't quit. You gotta clap on beat. Don't clap. Okay. You're not a woman, you don't know how to do it right. So don't quit. Okay? Commit. Don't quit. Okay, but we talking about marriage too. Marriage license equals LLC. Whatever. Now I will say, yes, that's true. You can handle it that way. But is it really a business? So go ahead, Dane.
So, of course, y'all know how I do things. If you are joining us, I gather data from different sources and kind of chop it up and then put our spin on it. So tonight we got some information from psychiatry.com and marriage.com. So we getting technological.
All right.
Tonight, you know what I'm saying?
All right then, because I don't have the
You
notes.
say that every
I don't
week. You
have
don't
no
have
notes
no
from
notes.
no
And
time
she
today,
got a
marriage
whole portfolio.
But this ain't about what we talking about.
Oh, that's just for show.
No, this is my daily journal, my meditation, and my notes and stuff.
Are you finna meditate?
No, I'm just saying. Boy, go on now. As I think of stuff, I jot it down so I won't forget to say it.
Okay.
I'm here to help. I'm a helpmate. So I just piggyback on what you say. I'm gonna let the Lord lead me. Speak through my mind. Think through my mind, Lord.
So there are kind of two different mindsets or things that we want to talk about tonight when it pertains to marriage. Do you want a transactional marriage, or do you want a interactional marriage? What's
That's
about
good.
that? It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out psychiatry.com.
I want both.
You want both?
I want some transaction
So
and some interaction.
let me give you guys a definition of transactional. It basically just means conducting business. So transactional means conducting business. Interactional means reciprocal or mutual.
Okay.
Those words are more closely aligned to what marriage is or what marriage looks like.
Okay.
Something being reciprocal or mutual, because anybody that's been married more than 20 minutes knows that reciprocation and selflessness are very important to a long, harmonious marriage.
Right.
Okay, I'll keep going. So here's a couple of things that you can think about, some questions that you can ask about if your marriage is transactional. And I want to see if y'all can catch the common thread throughout these questions, okay? The first one, what do I get? This is transactional, by the way, again.
Mm-hmm.
If I win, you will lose. That's more of a statement. You must see my view.
Mm-hmm.
Results oriented. Quid pro quo. I know we've heard that. Tit for tat, this for that.
Mm-hmm.
Judgmental. Punishing. What's up, Dale? Dale joined us.
Hey,
where my sis at? Tell us, we said what's up. And then the final thing is blaming. Those are all parts of what could be considered transactional.
Hi, Natural Queen. Thank you for joining us.
That could be something that's considered to be, those are all things that could be transactional.
Okay.
If you were looking through those things, what would be a common thread that you may have heard through those statements?
Oh Lord, you don't put me to school. Probably.
It's an opinion. It's no right or wrong.
It's about
answer.
like me. Like, what is it? Like, quid pro quo. Like, what can you do for me? Like, if I win, you lose. Whatever. If you win, I lose. Kind of thing. Like, it's all about me.
Right.
That's what I hear.
Right. And that's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that those things, when you're in a transactional situation, it's more kind of along the lines of what business is. Mm-hmm. You're producing a transaction instead of producing a relationship,
right?
If you will.
And to think about, like, for me, when I think about marriage, if marriage is truly a business, then the other person is interchangeable. Like Chipotle, you know what I'm saying? Like the Chipotle line. You can just, if Chris don't work, we just gonna interchange Chris with James. As long as these beans is getting scooped, and these clients is happy and these customers is happy, it don't matter who scooped the beans, as long as the beans is getting scooped. It's just like a factory line.
A cog in the wheel.
Yeah, just like any business that you or I have worked at, or any of you guys have worked at, you're interchangeable. You're an ID number. You're an employee number. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I understand that's going on with you. However, I need this done. Mm-hmm. You know, that's business. So if that's how you're going to operate in your marriage, then you kind of setting yourself up for failure, for destruction, because you have to have that personal peace in marriage. It can't just be, oh, well, I feel sorry for you, but you got to do what I need you to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
And here are a couple of other words that are facets of business that you kind of hear when people are talking business: technical, commercial, financial, HR, administrative. Those words are very cold. They're very calculated. They're very
Go ahead. I'm just.
They're very cold. They don't sound as though you would be spending the rest of your life with somebody when you're talking about your marriage. So if we're going into our relationships like that, then that's not a good look. That's not a good way to that's not a good way to handle situations. You don't want to be commercial in your marriage.
What was I gonna say? What you say, commercial in your marriage? Yeah, I mean, there are things in your marriage that are, like you said, business-like, or maybe I said that. There are things that are business-like. It's a philosophy of business, but if you approach it that way, then that means that your personal preferences really don't matter. We got to be like what we said. What I asked you earlier, EOE, equal opportunity employer.
Yeah.
Like you can't discriminate based on race, color, origin, religion, none of that. Like none of your personal preferences matter. If marriage is a business, it's just what can this person do for me? Do they look good on paper? Do you got a degree? Do I got a degree? Do our finances work together? You know what I'm saying? Can we pay these bills? But there is no, where's the relational part of it? Where's the relationship? Because like we always say, love and logic don't mix. So you can't take that logical, mentality into a relationship when you're when you're supposed to be with somebody forever. Right. Forever. You know what I'm saying? Forever. Because sometimes the person may look great on paper. Think about this. I used to work in HR. We hired a lot of people. They look great on paper. They got all the degrees. They meet all the criteria, all the prerequisites, everything. Interview well. They can speak eloquently, so well spoken. They answer the phone. Everything you need them to do.
But
until they got their job.
They can do all that stuff but can't get to work on time.
But you were so, you know what I'm saying? You were so just, what's the word? Not perfect. Like when somebody is just, you were so impressive in the interview process. It was just like, and like I said, you look good on paper. And that what's that? That interview, 30 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes sometimes. You met with these different people. But once you get into the position, you know what I'm saying? Once you get into the position, then do you really fit the culture of this organization, of this environment, of this dynamic, of this atmosphere? Do you really fit the culture? That's why you can't just, this business. Well, look, she got a degree, he got a degree, he made, $85,000 a year. I mean, he look alright. He kind of nice, some stuff he don't make, but yeah. See, it has to be deeper than just what's on paper, what looks good on paper. Because passion in the marriage phase anyway. So if it ain't even there in the beginning, you see what I'm saying? You already dun dun dun. You doomed. So I digress. Go ahead with your marriage times chronicles.
I just want to shout out So Romance Planning.
SOS. What are you reading? SOS Romance Planning. Hey y'all, how you doing?
I'm sorry, y'all.
Thanks, welcome back. D-Carl B, Made for Marriage. Hey, Made for Marriage. Oh, that was already on here. Hey y'all, thanks for joining. Cannot be superficial. Right, absolutely. They laughing at you. You talking about so romance. He thinking about so death.
I'm saying it's double. So romance. Y'all ain't romance. Y'all so romance. Devoted Favor 2014. What's up? Now somebody else joined us too. D. Carl.
I said that already.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we talked about some of the facets of business, but let's talk about a couple of facets of marriage. Here's a quick definition of what marriage is. bonding of bodies, souls, and spirits in a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual union. Don't they just sound sexy?
A lot of
You
words.
want to bond with me emotionally and mentally and spiritually?
Yeah.
And real physically?
Keep reading for the people.
So, I mean, even in that definition of a facet of what marriage is, that's it's already related. See, the thing about marriage is this, y'all. It's the superficial, it's the topping part, but there's also the emotional part, because just like she said earlier, love and logic don't mix. How many times, y'all, have you known someone that was married or they were in a relationship and it's as clear as day to you that they need to make some changes or do something different within their relationship, but because they're emotionally tied to this person and this situation, and who knows how much time has gone by, they can't see, what's the saying, they can't see the forest because of the trees. For the trees. But because you're not involved in that situation, you can see immediately what the issue is with them.
Because you're on the outside
looking in.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I love her a whole bunch. And so because of that, sometimes I may not be as rational as I could be because I love her. But that's anything. Something I may handle the situation one way, but because it's you and you got these long braids, I might handle the situation and handle you differently. As opposed to if it was a coworker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like if you was a coworker and you said, "Will you bring me something to eat?" I'm gonna be like, "Where your money?" Or I'm gonna say no. Or I might.
Right.
But if it's you, I'm gonna bring you something to eat, even when you tell me you're not hungry.
Right, yeah.
Cause you gonna say that. Oh, I don't want nothing.
I don't be wanting that until you bring it in and it smell good. Just give me some fries.
That's a whole different conversation right
Absolutely.
there. Were you gonna say something?
I'm trying to get on the same wavelength as you.
Okay. So here are some other facets of marriage, and I'll just kind of go at them one by one. Being in agreement.
This is marriage.
This is a facet of marriage.
Okay.
Being in agreement.
Right.
So if you're going,
because in business, you don't have to agree with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If this is the business structure, and this is how we do it in business, you don't always have to agree with it. But this is how it goes.
Right.
Even like now with, COVID and Corona and social injustices, you don't always agree with with the business or the employer or what their overall
stance is.
Exactly. I don't agree.
To them, Black lives may not matter.
Exactly.
Blue lives might matter. But guess what? If you're gonna work for them, either you're gonna work there or you're gonna leave.
Right.
So your agreement is optional.
It really don't matter most times. Unless you are the CEO of the business, it's your business, then of course, whoever you're working with, you want them, vendors or whoever you hire in your business or however you running the thing is your business. But
hey, Jada photography.
In business, your agreement don't really, you don't agree? Oh, that's great. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm going to need you to do is go back over to your computer and send this thing out like I asked you to, if you're going to work here. So your agreement is optional. Next thing, letting go of selfishness. A facet of marriage is letting go of selfishness.
Right.
What's going on? More Life Naturals and OVO Half Baked. Thank y'all for joining us tonight.
Thank y'all for joining.
So, letting go of selfishness. Do y'all understand that that's one of the biggest issues in marriage? Is selfishness.
Because we are selfish by nature. We were born into the, we people want what they want. And not only do they want what they want it when they want it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And especially now. People don't want to wait for anything anymore. It's like, give it to me now.
Popcorn society that we live in. Because you just get on your phone and in seconds you can have the answer. I don't have to wait. Yeah. Oh, you don't want to tell me? You don't want to do? Don't worry about it. Uber Eats.
Yeah. You don't want to cook? My food will be here in 13 minutes and 17 seconds.
That's right, SOS man. Selfishness does absolutely murder a marriage.
Set it on fire, chop it up into little pieces, and
because that's the biggest thing. If you ain't trying to be selfless, then you need to be single. Real talk.
Because all you doing is not doing stuff. Hey, Ursita, what's
up? What's up, friend?
All you're doing is being if you're doing marriage right, you're being selfless.
Right.
If you're not,
thanks, Dale.
Yeah, if you're not being selfless, you, as the old people say, you're cruising for a bruise.
What? What's the next one?
Okay.
No, I'm waiting on you.
I just thought about I want some wings. It came from up out of me.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the next thing about another facet of marriage is becoming one.
That's hard to do.
Yes, it is.
That's real hard to do.
For real.
Because you don't literally like fuse into one person. Because the reality of it is I'm an individual, he's an individual, and we are living a life together. You don't become the other person.
Right.
And you don't try to make the other person become you. You figure out how are we going to interdependently live together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the thing about it is you don't want to become the other person because the person who they are is what drew them in.
Right.
Because you already know what your flaws and your issues are. And I don't need that times two. But one of me is plenty.
Because I wanted you for what you possessed.
Right.
I didn't want me. I wanted you.
Right.
So if you turn into me, I may not want you no more. I have enough of me.
Right. There's plenty of me.
What's the saying that says if there's two of the same, one is not needed?
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? Interdependence is key. Somebody had a question.
Yes, I saw it.
I see it. How did y'all learn how to be selfless? Very hard to do when trust is broken. You're right about that, Ursula. Absolutely.
So how do we learn to be selfless?
I love that SOS. She said, I'm coming back. I'm not ignoring you. Oneness is not sameness. I had to learn that and learn not to try to change him.
That's good.
Change them. That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And that's one thing that I like to say, celebrate the differences. There's a lot of freedom. And there's beauty in y'all being different.
What's up, Sean Rashid?
Because of the way that somebody handles the situation.
Right.
Like, I thank you. That he doesn't handle situations like I handle situations.
Yeah.
Like, that's not going to be feasible. But we're going to go back to this question. I'm sorry, I got off on a tangent. How did you learn how to be selfless?
I learned how to be selfish by messing up all the time.
Trial and error. Sometimes, though, I will say this. Some people, like we always say, there is one person who may be more of a natural giver than others. I think there's always a natural giver or a person who's more giving in a relationship. Just out of two, one of them is going to be naturally just more giving. So in that, they may have learned from domestication. They may have learned from taking care of a sick parent. They may have learned from just past experiences, being with other people. It could have been they came out of, hurt, depression, out of, they could have overcome a sickness, and it just teaches you and changes you in some situations.
And let me add something to that.
Go ahead.
You might really just love that person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you really do, like you always say, love the person and have goodwill for them, it makes it easier for you to be selfish because you don't want them to be unhappy.
Because the way
you don't want them to hurt.
Because the way it's really supposed to be set up in marriage is she takes care of all of my stuff, I take care of all of her stuff, and we good. And
when he says all of our stuff, he's talking about core needs in a marriage, in a relationship. If those things are being nurtured or being handled, addressed, then everybody should be, feeling some sense of contentment, accomplishment, satisfaction in some way. Of course, again, because we're individuals and we're human, you may have your own thing going on. And it may not even have anything to do with the other person. You may just not be happy for something that has nothing to do with the relationship. But what a lot of people do is project their unhappiness their personal unhappiness onto the relationship and the person.
Right.
So I'm not happy, so I'm not happy with you. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for me, I learned how to be selfless being with him. Just straight up. Because I was the type, we talk about this all the time, I don't give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't just say words to me because they don't mean nothing. I'm from the show me state. And if you are a person of your word, why did the color on that just change like that? You see it?
Yeah, I don't know. Keep going.
So if you are a person of your word, and I see that you, and it's not like tit for tat, but I'm the type of person that's like, your trust has to be earned. Me being vulnerable with you, that has to be earned. I'm not the type of person that just kind of wears my heart on my sleeve and just, I'm transparent, you just get all my information as soon as we meet. You know what I'm saying? It takes a while for me to, open up in that way, because you just never know, because I've been pissed on before. You know what I'm saying? So you learn with emotional maturity and with age that everybody doesn't don't get to know your heart. Everybody don't get to share.
Everybody doesn't deserve your.
Everybody don't deserve it, number one, but everybody doesn't. They haven't earned it. So for me, over time, and after we were together for a long time, because reality is you're gonna want what you want
when you want it.
Because we are a selfish person. But selflessness comes when you say, okay,
hey, see ya.
Let me not be concerned right now about what I feel. And do what you don't want to do.
Right.
And as you continue to do those things, then it becomes an easier process. It's hard though when there's no reciprocity in the relationship. Like you feel like you're going and you're doing and you're being sacrificial and sacrificing things, and you're accommodating this person, and you don't feel like they're reciprocating it at all. It's hard, but you have to continue to do it. Because that's what the marriage is. It's selflessness.
Right.
Regardless, because the honest to goodness truth of it is, it don't matter what they doing.
I knew it. Yep.
It don't matter if they ever reciprocate. I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying it's right, but that's the truth of it.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell you, with us, there was a lot of times I didn't reciprocate nothing, because I was upset. You know what I'm saying? We went through a stint in a season in our marriage where we shouldn't even be sitting here together today talking about we married.
Right.
But I have to give him kudos, because regardless of how I acted, he continued to go. He continued to show me love, continued to be selfless. Even when I was straight up like, I don't care what you're doing, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But at the point that it kept happening and I saw that it was real, it was like, if you, just us being people, you can't continue to just dog a person or be, horrible or mean to a person when you know that they're genuine and that they have goodwill towards you and that they're loving you. If that's the case, then it may be something that you need to really get some counseling and work on yourself inward, work on you inwardly. But for me, seeing that, it's like, I can't do that, because I'm not a spiteful person. So just me seeing that he was putting me first, it's like, okay. And for women, that's us. That's showing us love, and that's a core need for us. So as my core needs were being met, then it made it easier for me to lean in and meet his core needs. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes one person to initiate the selflessness. Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially after trust has been broken and there have been things that have happened. So I digress.
That's good, babe.
Thanks.
And thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for what you said.
Oh, I was like, what'd I say? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, because I'm still here. I'm still
We lost a
sitting
couple
right here.
of questions, so I got to roll back up here.
Did this thing, is it this or was it that?
It was that.
Oh, okay, so we didn't lose it.
Okay. Ursita said, I learned to be selfless with my children. Difficult to be that way with a mate for me.
That's so true. Yeah. I think it's a woman thing. I really do. And men be feeling some type of way when them babies come on board. Because they're like, you do it for him, you do it for them. Why you can't do it for me? It's like, but these are children. And because this was, I'll tell y'all straight up, this was my mentality. Like,
go ahead.
You grown. Those are children. Like, why you gotta, who says your play gotta be made first? You a grown man. Let me tend to these kids first before all of that. Like, I'm just being real. I never understood that. Like, you know, make the man play and, make his play and do all that kind of stuff. I'm like, I have to tend to these children. We got to do homework. We got to take baths. We got to make sure they done ate. They healthy. You got to spend time. We got to play with them, talk to them, read with them. Yeah, you got to read
She
with
doctoring
them.
and stuff.
You got to do all this stuff, but it's like, and I'm speaking as a woman because I don't know how men feel about this, but as a woman, you feel like you have the charge. You are in charge and responsible for these lives. I'm not responsible for your life. We're partners. You know what I'm saying? Because what you do is what you choose to do. But with these children, it's like, I'm responsible for you. It's going to reflect on me what does or doesn't happen with these children. So I got to step up. And it's easy for us as women to put our kids first because they're our children. We bore them inside of us. We carried them for 9 months. We attached. It's like a mother's love. That bond is like, it's unmatched.
Corey crazy.
Shut up, Corey. Shut up. Y'all just are so, why y'all like that? I don't understand it. But I'm with you, RCD. It's much easier to be, and then too, I have to say this, and I don't mean to be morbid or disgusting. There's no sexual intimacy with your children. It's a completely, totally different relationship with your mate than it is with your children. So you handle those situations and you go into those, those relationships completely different than you would with a spouse versus a child. Versus even your mom and your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a different type of relationship. There's a different type of love, so you handle it differently. That's why it's easier to be selfless with the mate, with a kid, versus a mate.
And so could it also be because that child is under your control and whatever they tell you you gonna do, so they gotta follow and do whatever you want them to do. It ain't no backlash.
No, but they don't have anything to do with being selfless, though, because they're under your control. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying the ease of it.
The ease of what?
Well, the ease of the woman.
But it still don't have to do with being selfless.
No, I'm saying you're saying that it's easier for a woman to do that. Could it be easier because you don't get the same type of pushback in certain situations?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Not for me personally. Y'all ladies on here, do y'all think that's why, because you don't get pushback from your children, that's why it's easy for you to be selfless? This is how a man thinks. Because it ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
So, Sean Rashid said marriage reveals your heart. It does. Marriage definitely reveals your heart.
Marriage makes you more of who you are.
Yeah, good, bad, or indifferent. It reveals what's inside. Sooner or later, it's going to come out.
So, I have a question here. Isia says, did he change the behavior in order for your heart to soften? And what steps were taken besides him loving you to rebuild the trust? Some people think that if they didn't cheat, then there is no reason. Wait, go up. This is not touch screen. I
think that's the. Oh man, let me shut up. It's so much stuff over here.
If they didn't cheat, then there is no reason to feel distrust. How do you convince your spouse that they need to rebuild trust, not just be nice and serve? Cheating ain't got nothing to do with trust. There are so many different levels to trust. It ain't just infidelity, because a broken heart could be the fact that I trusted you and I put so much into this relationship and now you're letting me down. Or, emotionally, security. Or
it could be something like he puts his mom before her.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's hurt, and that's being let down. Like, people can let you down without it being infidelity. Yeah. There are certain, it could be the way that they talk to you. And this is another thing that really just, it's hard to kind of articulate. I don't really have the language for it, but a lot of times people think because I'm nice to you, I'm nice, and I do what you want me to do, that still doesn't change the fact that you're not handling my heart correctly.
Right.
Because you putting your sister before me. You putting your mama before me. You not anything that I say, you go and do whatever you want to do anyway. Like that for a woman, that's hurtful. It's disrespectful, even if it's a man or woman. Just like if it's you and you're asking me to do something or whatever, and I'm always like, let me call my dad and ask him what he thinks. Yeah. That's disrespect.
You gonna live with your daddy.
No, I wore the wrong glasses today. But that's disrespect in on so many levels. It just doesn't have to be, infidelity. So I understand what you're saying, that some people think that they didn't cheat, so there is no reason for distrust. There's a lot of reason for distrust, because the thing about it is you set the boundaries in your relationship. You set them. So if we said, I don't want you, coming home after 2:00, and you said you completely and utterly just are being blatant to just disregard what I'm saying, that's disrespect. Yeah. That's not loving me. I don't feel loved if you can't even do the thing that I'm asking you to do just out of respect for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you have to answer her question. She said, did he change the behavior in order for your heart to soften? And what steps were taken? I don't know why you changed the behavior.
Oh, okay.
What steps were taken besides loving you to rebuild the trust?
So did I change the behavior? Yes. Because the behavior has to be changed, because words only do so much. So if there was something that I was doing that was a behavior that was causing an issue, the behavior definitely has to be addressed. But that has to be addressed through a conversation first. If you haven't expressed that or said that directly to him, he may not even know. And a lot of times that could be the issue, is that there's something that's going on and we make an assumption that because this hurts me, or I've been with you for so long, you should just know that this is what I'm feeling. So the first thing you have to do is let your spouse know about what that behavior is. Because like we talk about all the time, as long as your spouse has goodwill towards you, mm-hmm. and they know that there isn't anything that she can tell me that she says, this hurts me, mm-hmm. that I'm not going to immediately address and want to rectify, mm-hmm. and change the behavior immediately. Right. Now, there may be a time for me to change the pattern just because I make it up in my mind that that's what I'm going to do off rip. If I've been doing something for so long, that's a habit. Right. And it takes a while to undo habits. So if you've had the conversation, he's acknowledged it and saying, hey, babe, I feel where you're coming from. I'm going to work on it. Then you have to give him time to work on it. You can't say the next time he does it, or the next 5 times that he does it, oh, he's not changing. It's a work in progress.
Can I interject?
No. No, go ahead.
Now, he said the next 5 times. That's a lot of times.
That's a lot of time, but it's a habit. If it's something that you've been doing for 10 years, mm-hmm. and then we have a conversation and you say, baby, I don't like when you rub my baby toe. If I've been rubbing your baby toe for 10 years and all of a sudden you tell me, don't rub my baby toe, some things are subconscious.
You and this baby toe.
I'm just saying, some things are subconscious, and it's something that you do without even thinking about.
Right, and I totally agree with you. I'm not saying...
So I might say, hey, my bad, I rubbed your baby toe again, but I'm working on it.
Right, no, that's what I was going to say. Okay. If you acknowledge it, because sometimes you can go to the person and say, hey, and this is kind of to your question when you say what steps were taken besides loving you. We had the conversation and had to become emotionally mature about how we're going to handle this, because if I say that you're doing this and you tell me I'm going to work on it, and then, okay, well, I understand it's a process. It happened again. It happened again.
Hey, Tora.
So that 3rd time I may say, hey, babe, we said, we talked about this, and this is something I know you're working on this, and I know that it's a process, but I just want to bring it to your attention that you have still been, I don't like when you walk in front of me and you still walking in front of me. And he says to me, I ain't doing that. See, that's a problem. But if you say to me, oh, have I don't even recognize that I've been doing that. So it takes both people to say, okay, let's work on this together, right, because we need to hold each other accountable. Because if like you said, if it really is something subconscious, you may not recognize when you do it. So don't tell me you didn't do that. Right. And it's like, well, why would I ain't making it up?
Like you said, and you have to be mature enough, emotionally mature enough to hear that person's concern or that issue that they're having with you.
Right.
Because it's second nature for us to be defensive about stuff that we do.
Absolutely.
Like she tell me, I have a snoring problem, y'all, and I'll go to bed and I've made up in my mind, I'm not snoring tonight. I'm not snoring tonight. And then I wake up like, yeah, I ain't snore at all. I'm like, baby, did I snore? All night long.
All night long.
All night long.
Woke me up out of my sleep.
And I could say to her, no, I didn't, because before I went to bed, I purposed in my heart that I wasn't gonna snore tonight. And then and we had those back and forth before. And guess what she did? She recorded me. I said, my bad.
See?
She recorded me snoring.
And I don't want it to get to a place where you feel like you have to record and, take notes. And, because the word say keep no record of wrongdoing. But it's like in a person who you feel like doesn't hear you.
Right.
There's
nothing worse than feeling like you're not heard.
When you feel like you're not heard, that's when those petty, little spiteful things, you feel like they're being. But it's not that I'm trying to be petty or spiteful. I just feel like you don't hear me and you don't see yourself. And I'm not trying to be like funny and make you feel no type of way. But if this is something that we say we're going to work on, we need to collectively be working on this. Right. If it's something that you want me to do, and I'm saying I didn't do that. I didn't do that. You tripping. That's just what you think. And it's like, no, even if that's not how you felt like you did it, I can't take anything away from how he felt about the situation. Mm-hmm. So for us, the steps were being mature about it, recognizing that it is a process. It's a process. It don't just happen overnight. They gonna slip up, and you might slip up, and being okay with saying, accepting the fact that, okay, so you said I did it again, dang. Even if you don't feel like it, dang. And this is another thing. If you see that they are showing an effort, please remember that it's a process. But you see them trying, it's just not going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
It may take 4 or 5 years. And I'm not talking about like somebody like screwing around and you sleep, sleeping with somebody
I did it again.
Hey, oops, it fell up in her again. Like not that, because that's a choice, But some things that you do are really unsubconscious. Like the way that we used to talk to each other back in the day. Like it was just
subconscious, right? Not subconscious.
It's subconscious, yeah. It's just subconscious, yeah. Or it's just an unconscious thing that you do. It's subconscious because, like what I talk about how we used to talk to each other, and it was just like, we're not finna do this. We ain't on. And for him, he was like, I don't do that. And I used to say that too. I do not do that. I don't talk to you no type of way. I really was.
And y'all know, let me tell y'all something. She little. And y'all know little people, they be little firecrackers.
Well, whatever.
See, that go right there.
I'm average height for a woman. I am not little.
You're small.
Baby, whatever. Anyway. But when he told me that, I didn't accept it at first. But the reality of it is you have to be able to hear what they're saying to you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Now, hear what they're saying to you, and let's work together to rectify the situation for resolution if we want to be together. Because it ain't easy. It's work, but it can happen.
Yep.
It can work. That's why I started this live with saying, I feel in my spirit that I need to say to people who are out here listening to us in internet land, don't quit. Don't quit on your marriage. You have to commit. And
commit to not quit.
I like that. We need to get some shirts. Commit to not quit. Marriage is real. But the reality of it is, I ain't saying it's easy. Because I know it ain't. It's like, for any women out here that's been had a baby and you pushing, you in labor. You can't quit. Because on the other side of that,
you can commit.
Your beautiful baby it's hard. And it ain't fun right now. But don't quit. You can't quit. You can't quit pushing. Just keep going. Because the reality of it is a lot of people want to quit in marriage for something that's just marriage. It's just a part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you in high school and you're like, I'm tired of algebra. I don't want to take no algebra. I'm not doing this. And you just drop out of high school. Well, algebra is a part of it. It's like, it's just a part of it. So hard times and getting through a situation and figuring out how we gonna resolve this is a part of marriage.
Yep. So let me read a couple of comments.
Wow.
Corey says, sometimes trust is not broken. Expectations that have not been communicated to the other party have caused trust issues.
That's so true.
That's good, bro.
That's so true.
That's
Let
good.
me just say that. Let me hold on. I'm sorry. I know you're going to stop. Undisclosed information is unfair. Don't do that. Don't tell me, because y'all see me getting a little, because this is one of our issues that we had. You say, I don't like when you do such and such. Well, did you ever tell me that? Because I've been doing such and such. You know what I'm saying? Well, and then you hear people, a lot of women will say, he should just know. He don't.
I don't.
And they don't. They don't just know.
I just don't know.
And if you don't tell him, if you don't tell her, you're holding them accountable for something that you haven't disclosed, and that's unfair.
And that's
and
your
then
bad.
you say you unhappy. Whose fault is it though? It's yours, because you never shared that with them. These people ain't been with you forever. I mean they have. I mean, some people that's been married for 20 years, but
what's up, Benny?
I didn't know you. I'm not your mama. I'm not your daddy. I just don't know what you like and what you want. And then the reality of it is we're changing. We are changing people. We change
Evolve.
from, decade to decade. So
I'm not the same cat I was at 20.
and don't hold me to the standard of who I was when we first got together.
Right.
If you know that I've changed, I know that you've changed. I can't say.
I think I got sexier.
Right. But the point I'm making is that's why you need to have conversations with your spouse, with your mate.
Right.
Talk about it. Okay, I'm just be real with you. I'm changing, and that when you be, joking about, my gray hair, it used to be funny we joke like that no more. I don't like that. But if I don't tell him that, and I'm just making this up because I like my grays. But if I don't tell him that, and then I'm mad because he started joking about my gray hair, how was he supposed to know? How do you know if I don't feel like you holding me, you got my back with your family? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I never tell you, well, when you do this with your mom, or when you do this with your sisters, or when this situation happened, that really hurt me.
Like, remember that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Vulnerability, y'all, in marriage is so key. Mm-hmm. It has to be there. We gotta drop all this. I'm hard, he ain't gonna even give him the satisfaction of seeing me cry. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
There has to be truth and honesty in a relationship if y'all gonna be successful and make it. It's just the reality of it. If something hurt you, tell that woman, men, that hurt your feelings or that made you feel some type of way. And woman, if he does do that, don't make fun, don't poke fun. Handle that situation very delicately. Sometimes don't say nothing, just listen. Because if you say the wrong thing, that may be the last time he open up to you. Because it's hard for men. So but the key is don't hold somebody to a standard of something you've never told them, because you're changing and they don't know you changed. Because you hurt and they don't know it hurt you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, but you were saying something about a movie or something?
No, I didn't say that at all.
I thought you said in this movie.
No.
Oh. Okay, so you got one?
Yeah, we got another question. With a blended family, how does the spouse with children balance respect and priorities between your spouse and children?
With a blended family, how does the spouse, say it again?
How does the spouse with the children?
The spouse with the children.
Balance respect and priorities between your spouse and children. We're going to put a pin in that and come back to that at the end.
Yeah.
So we can kind of finish these last couple of points.
The blended family it's delicate.
Made for Marriage said your spouse has to be your priority.
Absolutely.
Hey Toya, Shella joined. Phillips, Marvelous Johnson 39. Thank y'all for joining. Let me hit this last point real quick because we're getting close to an hour now. We're talking about the business of marriage and some of the facets of marriage.
Right.
Another thing we got to think about as a facet of marriage is that we're shaping another generation.
Absolutely.
Do y'all understand that everything that goes on within your four walls. If you have children, they are watching, learning, and being sponges of everything that's going on. So husbands, be aware. And I think I saw this on Facebook, which I'm not even, I don't know if I can quote it right, but basically your sons are learning how to treat their wives by what you do. Absolutely. And your daughters are learning how to be treated by a man.
By what you do.
By what you do.
Right.
So just keep in mind that everything that you're doing, think about this. If my daughter was with a guy, and if he treated your wife, if he treated your daughter how you treat your wife, how would you feel about that?
That part.
How would you feel about the way he talked to her? If he berated her? If he neglected her, if he didn't protect her, if he didn't make her feel secure, as a dad, you would be ready to go put hands on that joker.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
And it don't matter what she doing.
It don't matter what she doing. That's your baby.
Right.
That's your baby.
Well, she didn't cook me no food, so I just went and got me something to eat. Didn't bring her nothing.
Yeah.
You mad? You a mad daddy.
Right. You a mad daddy, and you gonna be ready to put hands. You better feed my baby. You better feed her. So just keep in mind that you're shaping a new generation.
Absolutely.
In our culture, it's very imperative to have parents.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? We've got to see a representation of what a strong black man and a strong black woman look like for the generations to come.
Yes.
It has a socio-economic effect on so many different parts of our lives.
It already has affected us.
Right.
From our, previous generations and, our ancestors and grandmamas and great-grannies and all that. All of that stuff has affected us now. Right.
So we got to keep that in mind, that we're shaping and molding their minds. So when you're talking to your wife, when you're talking to your wife, you make sure that you're using words of love and affirmation, and you're you're treating her according to the way that she needs to be treated. Right. Because that's what you would want for your daughter. Women, let me put y'all on blast too.
That's real.
Don't be talking crazy to your husband, because guess what? You be the main one ready to take your earrings off and all that if some girl talking crazy to your son. See that hand? You see the hand?
I already know.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, women, this is a thing too. When we talk to our sons crazy, you are setting a pattern for him being with a woman that talk to him crazy. Because guess what? Good. It's going to be familiar. My mama talking
That's just how it is.
That's just how it goes.
That's just how it goes. Right.
Absolutely not.
It's not.
And then she come around and she talking to him the same way you talk to him and his daddy.
Yeah.
And you mad.
Right. What y'all say? Oh, no what? Oh, no what?
Oh, no what?
Oh, no she what?
Didn't?
Yeah.
I don't say that. Oh, no she didn't. I don't say that.
No, I'm saying, but that's something that someone would say.
Right.
Like, you're not going to talk to my baby like that.
Yeah, like she got me.
But that's what that's become what the pattern is. That's what they're used to.
Right.
Sometimes people that have been in abusive relationships, they gravitate towards abusive people.
Absolutely.
Because that's what they knew. That's how some people become promiscuous. Because of something that may have happened in their past that they were exposed to.
That they saw, right.
So just remember that you're exposing your children to everything. You don't want them to think that things are perfect, that it's a fairy tale, but you still want to make sure that you're loving and treating your spouse in the way that they deserve to be treated. And
then when you say that brought up a good point for me. Don't tell your children about what's going on in y'all's relationship.
Yes.
If your mama... If he cheated on me, I ain't gonna be like,
These kids, what's up?
Jordan, I gotta tell you, daddy cheated on me. Trini, come on, let me tell you, daddy, he cheated on me, so we going through some things. That ain't for them. That's not even fair for them to walk around carrying that adult load in their lives. If y'all having a beef, it's okay. They understand to say, me and daddy, we having our own issues. This is what people go through. They don't need to know the sort of details of what happened. Well, mama, what happened? Well, let's just say everything ain't always how you want it to be. Things don't always work. Now, as your kids get older, they become an adult. And I mean adults. I ain't talking about 21, and I'm talking about adult.
Grown.
And you can tell them things later, but what you're doing is you're setting up the way that those children feel about their mom or they feel about their dad based on something that happened between y'all. Right. That doesn't take anything away from what type of father that man has been to his children, or what type of mother she's been to her children because of what happened between us.
Right.
Because this is, again, like we talked about earlier, this is a different type of relationship than a parent and a child relationship. It's totally different. So don't do that. You shouldn't do that, because you're asking them to carry adult hurts and pains that they ain't even ready for. That's premature. Right. It's premature. And what it really is that you're hurting, and you want them to know because you mad. Let me tell you what your daddy did. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's so out of place. That is so no.
And that can cause issues later on in their relationships.
Yeah, because now they looking at their daddy different, and then right. Guess what? Y'all stay together. Y'all still together.
Stay together.
And now your son looking at his mama crazy. Like, so now in his mind, well, my mama cheated on my daddy. I know I'm going to get cheated on too. That's just what it is.
Right.
There are certain things that just don't need to
Nikki.
That don't need to be shared.
Right.
It's a time for everything. I'm not saying that they'll never know, but it's a time for everything. Like, we've shared some things with our son now because he's 19, but it's a gradual process of sharing
a little bit at a time
for where he is in his life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But certain stuff ain't.
There's certain things that they just ain't.
It's unfair. It really is unfair, because I think about when I was younger, there were things that I knew about my dad and my mom and now my grandmama that I didn't need to know, because it was hard. It's hard for you as a kid to reconcile. Like, I don't understand. You can't understand it because you haven't been in that part of life yet.
And you have this preconceived notion of what a parent or a grandparent is and what they've been to you.
Yeah.
It's not the same relationship that they had with their child.
Absolutely. And that's when they say, grown old folks say, stay in a child's place. I don't believe in all that, you can't talk when I'm talking, but there are certain things that are not a child's place to know at that particular time. Especially if you got a 10 and 12-year-old and you done told them that your daddy over there with that chick. Like, what? You selling this to this baby? Like,
right.
Because again, back to what you said, you're shaping their world. Because now they like, my daddy cheated on my mom all the time. I already know what it's going to be. I already know what I'm going to do. The girls are like, dudes just cheat. That's what they do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the narrative.
It really is, and it's sad.
That's the narrative.
So I would just really caution y'all to not give too much information to your children when they're young, because it's unfair for them to, that starts to distort who that father or that mother has been to that child based on something that happened between y'all.
Well, let me tell y'all something real quick, because I think Instagram is going to go, it's going to shut down in a minute. We're going to come back live because we do have some more questions that need to be addressed before we go off. So if you guys on Instagram want to come back in about 2 minutes, we're just going to end it and come right back on so that we can address some of the questions that we have. And I got one more point that I want to make, and then we'll do those questions. And I don't know, you still
Thank you, Benny Green. He said this is an awesome platform, family. Continue blessings. Thank you. Evolving.
You had something that you wanted to.
I've been saying it, but yeah. Okay.
All right. So just give us 1 second. But yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, when you said that, it made me think about it's just certain things that, and like as an adult, there's certain stuff you just can't get out your head that about your mama, about your daddy. You know what I'm saying? And then here they are trying to tell you something for life, and you like, for real, for real.
It's like, I'm going to pass.
But the reality of it is, they did what they did. We did some stuff too, but that don't mean we the same person.
Right.
So as a parent now, I understand what they say. I'm trying to tell you from what I know, not from what I heard, because I don't want you to go through what I went through. It's been an hour, but it didn't go there.
This is kind of 1 more minute.
Oh, that one does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I digress on that, but that really, it does something to me when I hear people say that, because it's just so unfair. It really is unfair. And then I've had children talk to me about what they know about their mom or what they know about their dad and how I'm supposed to feel. You don't feel no different. You can be sad for your mom, but that doesn't take away who your daddy has been to you. Mm-hmm. And you can be sad for your daddy, but that don't take away who your mother has been to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because those are two totally different situations. And it really does make me sad. But it's 19 seconds.
Yeah, y'all come right back and
he has another point that he wants to make, and then you said we had some questions.
Yeah, we had the blended family question. There's a question over there too.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll open it up for anybody that has questions, and after that we'll call it an evening.
Okay, that's cool. Y'all, we coming right back.
Yeah.
Can you get it?
Let me see.
But so thank y'all so much for staying with us tonight. I appreciate it so much. We definitely just want to be just be a blessing to somebody. God just really laid on my heart about not quitting. Can you add that?
I'm gonna download it first.
Oh yeah, that's probably the best thing to do.
Okay, then we'll come back and post it.
It's frozen.
No, hold on, y'all.
Y'all bear with us just one moment. Stay with us. What the preachers be saying? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Let's see. Oh, that does make a huge difference. I told you.
Yeah. All right. We're bringing back Instagram.
Okay, so it says we like, hey y'all.
Come on back.
We're waiting for y'all to come on back in. I know sometimes these connections is gonna be off because I was trying to watch something live up yesterday and it wasn't coming back like I wanted to. But can you get was it a question in there?
I'm hoping they come back so we can answer. It was about the blended family.
Yeah, but is it gone now? Oh shoot. Sorry y'all. Okay.
We need to pay for the premium package.
Hey, Make Moves with Joel. Thanks. Thanks for coming back, y'all. Thanks for coming back. Okay, so
you keep talking.
What was your question? I mean, there was a question that we had. You said it was a question over there too?
Yeah, it's a question over there.
Where? I don't see no question.
Right here.
Oh, okay. So someone asked a question. In the meantime, how does the heart heal while you're waiting for them to get it right? Oh, that's a hard thing because healing is a process. So it's all in just the way that what are you doing personally to help to heal yourself in the process of them getting it right, if in fact you see the effort of them getting it right or them trying to make it right for the relationship. Because if they're continuously hurting you purposely, you feel like they not giving the effort, y'all not on one accord about what's going on, then it's really hard to heal in a situation like that. So it really does depend on the two people, but you have to be doing the self-work yourself, and asking God, God, Jesus, or the universe, or whomever, you call, your God to help to heal you, even in the midst of what's going on. Because you can be, if love and hate can coexist, you can be healing in an area and then still be hurt in one area. So you may be wanting to heal and work on you that may give you the strength to say, you know what, this person ain't trying to, they're not. They really not. They're not making an effort. They're just trying to appease me. And I know that this is not a good situation for me to be in, So it's in doing that self-work, because I hate to say it like this, y'all, but in a relationship, you come first. Not like we say, of course your spouse comes first, they're a priority. But when you're working on resolving things in an issue in the relationship, you have to come first. Because you have to look inward first. Because everything that you're pointing your finger about them about, it may be because of something that you're doing that's causing their reaction. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? There may be some hurt places in you that you need to heal. And it'll make you realize, okay, what they doing ain't even, I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? So I think with that question, how does the heart heal? It's a personal process of just, and again, it's a process. It's a slow process of the gradual healing. If in fact, healing from that thing, if in fact that person is making the effort there has been a resolve and a union and a collective agreement that this is something that we're going to do and we're going to work on this.
And let me add to that, time. Sometimes some things just take time. You know, if a transgression happened yesterday, it could be a year. And it takes however long it takes. So you can't say it's been 30 days and I'm done with this situation.
Right.
Time, like they say, time heals all things. Sometimes it just takes time. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to be the thing that's going to help healing. Think about if you got a cut or if you have surgery on some part of your body. Trini,
baby, what?
Close that. Turn that dry off. We real over here, y'all. Yeah, cause it's really loud. Wait till we finish. Our baby in there drying clothes.
Or take whatever with the buttons, whatever got buttons on to take that out.
Sorry, y'all.
Or zippers.
But think about if you have like for example, I burned myself the other day in the oven, taking something out the oven. It's been almost a week yet. It's not healed. Mm-hmm. It just takes time. I got a cut right here. I don't even know how to cut myself.
Mm-hmm. And the reality of it is sometimes it's not healed, but it don't hurt no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't hurt no more.
That's good.
It's not healed. It's still like there's still triggers, but it don't hurt no more because now we're in the process. Because now we're in the process of working toward whatever that thing is that we've decided we're gonna work toward. But time is absolutely of the essence because the process takes time.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
That was good. It was a collective effort.
It was healed.
High five.
It's healed, but it don't hurt no more. It ain't healed, but it don't hurt. Right. I like that. Let's see. She Real Black. If you want to give us that question again, we'll answer that. Thank you, Vision Imprint. Bobby Lord.
Hey, Bobby Lord. Obio have bag. Did you have a question?
He asked one earlier.
Oh, did we answer it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Miss Mendoza, Miss Dion, Peaches.
So I'm as far as her question, I hate for you to have to retype all of that.
Yeah, we just want to make sure we answer it appropriately. While that question's coming,
somebody said something.
That was Joe. Okay. He said, "Mate, you was hitting that topic for real, for y'all broken families for real." Oh, it was a comment. You were saying we were hitting that topic.
Thank you, CL. I hope that helps somebody. I hope that helps y'all. It's my heart. I just really hope it helps. But what the person said about She Real Black, they may be typing, but I know they said something about blended families and how do you know,
I'm not even going to
the respect piece of, you know, the family, the husband and the children, and the person they got the kids, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, what I'll say to that is working together. It takes y'all both working together. There has to be a mutual understanding, number one. The person that you are married to, I hope that they had a heart for your children and had an understanding for what it was before y'all said y'all I do's, because that's very paramount. It's very important. But children are still children. So as the mother and the father, you guys have to work together to lead the family cohesively, to lead the family as partners. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for me, because we don't have a blended family, but I know that if I were with another man and, you know, he hadn't earned or deserved or whatever, it's no disciplining my children, it's no whoopings, it's no spanking, you don't say nothing to them. That's how it will be in the beginning. Because I'm at the type of person I am, I'm not marrying you unless I feel like I can trust you with my children, not to be harmful to them, not to be hurtful to them. But I know that in some blended families of people that we know, they will take the situation to the spouse with whose children it is. Like if it's not the man's children and he had a problem with the kids, they'll say something to them. They will what's the word? Not discipline. I guess reprimand, but then have a discussion with the parent, the actual parent, and then we together discipline these children, discipline the child, or whatever. I hate to say discipline, whatever y'all want to do. Address the situation, but the kids know that y'all are united in what's going on.
United front.
The unity
in the community.
The unity of parents in a blended family is so key. It's so key. So sometimes y'all got to take it to another room and have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? About how we going, and then come back to them and say, okay, this is what I'm hearing. This is what was said. Having a conversation about it. Everything, you cannot heal a situation without having a conversation. And in the conversation, make sure that there is some comprehension. That we are
for the children?
For all parties included.
Okay.
Don't just talk about stuff and at the end of the conversation you don't even know what y'all talked about. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're understanding what we are discussing in this conversation and what is the resolve we're wanting to get at the end of this. At the end of this conversing, if you will. So, what was your last point?
I hope that would answer your question.
I hope that was what it was. I was trying to run it back. I was trying to run it back. Why do y'all think that? Oh, I was gonna say they didn't retype it, so I didn't want to make them retype all that.
So this was kind of my last point. It was for the men, for the husbands, and the whole marriage is real community. We want to be considered the leader, and I wanted to say that's why I went back to saying, is marriage a business? The business of marriage. So if you look at marriage from a business perspective, I know you're like, what is he saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm listening.
If you look at marriage from a business perspective of, it said the man is the head, right?
Right.
The CEO. Fellas, let me tell you something. You have to understand. Oh, she said you answered the question.
Thank you. I hope that was helpful.
I'm going to take credit too since we married. So if you're the head, you're the CEO. Husbands, the thing we got to understand is you want our wives to submit. You want them to do all this different stuff. But the thing you got to understand is, as a CEO, as the head, the good and the bad all fall on you. You're the head, right? So if you're the head, that means you're responsible for the tone and how the business is ran. And you can't blame somebody in corporate accounting for a situation that goes on when you go meet with the shareholders. They're going to ask you, CEO, why did this happen? What was the thing about this? Well, then you're going to say, well, my accountant down there on the fourth floor, I told her to enter in the report. She didn't enter in the report, so really it's her fault. No, bro. That's not how it goes. If you're going to lead, if you're going to lovingly lead your family, you set the tone, you're the head, and you have to run it. You have to walk in that good, bad, and ugly. So if you want these certain things to happen and these things to take place within the relationship, you've got to be able to accept everything that comes along with that position. Not to say that the woman is lesser. It's just a difference of positions. Yes, if I'm the CEO, she's the CFO. You see what I'm saying? She can lead the company probably better than I can. It's just a difference of, it's just a different position. So if you're going to lead your family, if you're going to lead the charge in your relationship, you got to be able to take everything that comes with that, and you have to take accountability. You have to be accountable, because you're going to be the one that's called to the carpet on the relationship. Just like with the wife, if something's wrong with the kids, they're gonna say, "Boy, that woman is horrible. She is a horrible wife. She a horrible mother." That kid knows always running. They're going to always look at her and say, what's she not doing? They don't know that woman just wiped that baby nose 4 seconds before that. They just see what they saw, and that's their perception. So the reality of it is when you are called to a headship or a leadership position within the relationship, everything that comes along with it is what you bore the brunt of. If you're the foundation If you the lead, you gotta take it all. So when we're in this, having that mindset and that type of thought process comes with emotional maturity.
Yes, absolutely.
It takes a long time to get to the point of accepting that. Not that anyone is perfect or that she hasn't done anything or said anything.
Right.
The question just becomes, okay, what are you gonna do about it though?
Right.
You the leader, right? Ain't you the leader? Am I the leader? Yeah, I'm the leader. So what you gonna do about it though? What are you gonna do?
That's why I always say I don't want to be no man. I don't want it. Y'all can have it. I don't want it. I want to wear my dresses and my braids. But yeah.
So that's what it is.
And I know, y'all know, we always say we have the unpopular opinion
all the time.
Because I know a lot of men out here like, no, nigga, no. It's both of us, which it does take too. Absolutely.
But under the guise of for our people that are believe in God and are believers, the headship starts God, man, wife, children. Think about it in the Bible. Who did God go talk to? He ain't talk to Eve. He said, Adam, what you doing, bro?
So what I tell you?
Wait, and what he say? Well, that woman you gave me. How many times have you heard that? Well, that woman you gave me. Yeah, I gave you that woman, but I gave you the charge. Right. I gave you the instruction about what to do and what not to do. And she came out looking all good, and she ain't had no clothes on and all that.
With this fruit.
With this fruit and these braids. Eve had braids. I didn't know that. Eve had braids, and she kept doing them like this. She's like, Adam, you don't want to try this? You want to try this fruit? And she kept doing like this. And he was like, okay.
Go on, give me some. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
You know, that was really my last point, is just to know, look, if you're going to lead, you take all of what comes with it. You don't get to just get the spoils of victory. Right. You got to deal with the defeats and the going back and recalculating and recalibrating and seeing how can I be a better leader.
Right.
That's manhood 101. And we got a lot of men out here today that they want to place blame, but it's like, yo, what could you have done better? What's your solution? What's the thing that you could change in order for you to make this relation? Because the reality of it is, y'all, God made women very pliable. How many times have you known a woman that's been with a man for a long time and you like, why is she still with him?
Ask myself every day. No,
man, I know. I be like, why is she with me? I ask her that too. Like, why are you still here? But you made me forget my thought.
God made woman very pliable.
Oh yeah, he made woman very pliable, and in that you take care of. I'm telling you, y'all, if you take care of a woman, if you take care of her heart, and you give her what she needs to thrive and grow and become her best self, there isn't anything from stopping y'all from having a wonderful relationship.
Absolutely, y'all. We're wired as women. We're wired for nurturing. We're wired for leaning in to that love, because that's one of the things. If God made us, he knows what we need. We need somebody to lovingly lead us. And again, the love is the first part. If you can, I'm telling men out here, you can love a woman into doing pretty much anything you need her to do for you.
You're just straight up. Secret sauce.
It's just straight. We don't care because we want to be loved. We don't care about the secrets. If you loving us, yeah. Girl, I be cooking, I be in there doing this and every
and
we try this.
And this how you know when she happy, she be like, James said, and James said, girl, you know what James said? Let me tell you what James said. You can't stop not hearing about that man. Am I lying?
You ain't lying. You be talking about this bottle of water right here. Girl, you know James don't like bottled water. He like it out the tap. Everything on me. You ever heard about James one more time? But the reality of it is, when you are tending to a woman's heart, y'all be talking about submission. It's not hard. It's not hard. But the one thing about it is, we women know we wise. So don't come with no bull. That's not gonna work.
But the thing about submission is you're to be, the husband is to be the example of what submission is.
Right.
As he submits to God.
Right.
he becomes the example, because a woman is a mirror reflection of the man.
It's the mirror reflection. I'm sorry. It really is. Because if you have seen some people in relationships, it's like, why do she act like that? Because she's mirroring him.
Right.
He just done turned her into just, dang, she used to be so sweet and nice. Now she be cussing and throwing stuff. He done made her mad.
Or you can see the other mirror reflection where she's being loved and she is.
And now she's more tender,
Yep.
more, soft, like I said. Because we're wired to lean into that. We want that by nature. I know you hear a lot of women say we independent, we the boss, be woo woo. That's great. But we're wired to want to be loved and kept and nurtured. Well, maybe not nurtured in that way, but that's what we want. And men are wired to want respect and honor. And we don't have no problem treating you like a king if you treating us like a queen. Hello. And that's what women say. I want somebody to treat me like a queen. Well, are you going to treat him like a king? Because, in royalty, women can't say nothing. Whatever the king say, yes, my king.
Now, when they get in the back, she probably say something.
Absolutely. That's what you're going to do. When we get back here in these chambers, I'm going to tell you what is real. You know what I'm saying? But again, y'all, we being funny and laughing, but it's so real. We talk about this all the time. All the time. Because we're a prime example. Because if you think about it, it's no reason why we still together. It ain't no reason. It makes absolutely no sense.
We still be asking each other, how we still?
Why are you still? But the reality of it is, if you do the self-work, emotional maturity, y'all resolve to make it. You know what I'm saying? Commit to not quit. Commit to not quit.
I'm still that.
What?
I said
We came up with that together. Don't do that.
See? She little. You see, you heard it come out.
But yeah, y'all. So y'all commit to not quit. Like I said, God just laid that on my heart. I heard a sermon Sunday. Prayerful daughter talked about quitting. And so I just was thinking about, like, in marriages, people want to quit over nothing. People want to quit over something that's just a part of marriage. That's just like saying, this baby keep boo-booing on himself and want me to make bottles. I don't want to be a parent no more. I mean, it's a part of it. They're children. A part of parenting is going through the diaper changes and the bottle feedings. It's a part of it. You don't quit, you get past it. And that's the thing that we have to do as married couples, like you talked about earlier, with the society and the culture and shaping our children, is being the example. You know what I'm saying? Marriage can be a beautiful thing if we make it that. But people give marriage such a bad rap, and it don't have to have one. It don't. I'm not shaking nothing.
Yes, you are. See what I see.
You
ain't even learn you ain't even listen to what you saying.
You just want to say something.
I just said something. You talking about? No, I didn't.
Because it wasn't shaking.
It was literally just shaking.
Okay, I'll let you have it, but it was shaking.
She wasn't looking.
Anyway.
All right, y'all. So we've been on here for a minute. Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions that we have not addressed, or anybody want to ask anything? To a ghetto fan. I'm gonna buy you a real fan
on here, y'all. Because I put it in the pantry so nobody won't eat on it.
Does anybody have any questions? Thank y'all for staying in. We had some real good interaction and some stayship. I know there ain't no word. Everybody was stayship tonight, baby.
I liked that it was a dialogue. It wasn't just us just talking, but people were chiming in.
Thank you, Earthseeder.
Thank you, Earth. I appreciate you so much.
We got a question here. How to start setting boundaries in a relationship into marriage?
Start now.
What kind of boundaries are you talking about? Like, what kind of boundaries are you talking about? Boundaries with each other? Boundaries with children?
They said into marriage. Like setting boundaries for your relationship that maybe weren't set before the marriage, pre-marriage. It comes with having the conversation and saying, hey, these are things that bother me. I don't necessarily like this. I don't think this is something that we've ever discussed before, But I think we definitely should have a conversation about it, because it can't continue to go on this way. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically just saying, of course, like we have a town hall meeting. So just setting aside a time and say, hey, I want to talk to you about some things, and just tell them, these are things that we've never discussed in our relationship, and give them a chance too to bring some stuff to the table. I want us to have a conversation about some stuff we never talked about in a relationship. And if you have something, you bring them too. You know what I'm saying? But it starts with a conversation, and
then it goes into implementation.
Absolutely.
So you have the conversation first, and then what you've talked about, maybe one person has a notepad and you make notes of what each person is saying about what the boundaries are, what the expectations are. You write those down. Maybe you guys talk about them, and then you look at them you look at them at night with each other and say, okay, I'm gonna work on this. You gonna work on that, and then you come into agreement and start trying to implement those things that each person is wanting to have to set a boundary about.
And I'm gonna tell y'all, a lot of this stuff, it's gonna feel uncomfortable. It feels very foreign, because a lot of times this wasn't modeled for us. Nobody taught you how to be married. Nobody taught you how to set boundaries. Nobody taught you how to be a wife or be a husband. Nobody taught successful marriage. So this is even why we do what we're doing, and just trying to marriage coach people, because these are things that we wish we would have had early on. So it's gonna feel weird. Like, what am I doing talking to him about some, I don't want to do this. This seems off. It does feel that way in the beginning. It's okay. Get past the uncomfort to setting the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So that y'all can start to evolve and go and move forward and be successful and be happy, air quotes. You know what I'm saying?
And then when you're setting boundaries, be mature enough to hear what that other person's boundaries are as well. Because there may be some issues that you're having within yourself that you feel like your spouse needs to address, but they got some too.
And as Sia just said, sometimes boundaries have to be reset, and that's really true.
That's good.
If we have to, let's go back to what we said.
We're getting off track.
A little off course. Let's get on. Let's come on back. Push the wheel on back a little bit. But yeah, that's good.
Thanks, Sia.
Revisit it. Absolutely. The boundaries definitely have to be revisited, because we setting boundaries early on about talking to the other opposite sex on the phone, or what you think is appropriate, texts and emails, and
pictures.
Whatever. Yeah,
don't send no pictures no more.
Yeah, like if
I'm joking. Back in our day, it would have been a real picture, like
exactly.
Here you go.
Yeah, cause
that's me.
He threw my ex-boyfriend picture out the window. We was driving down the street and threw it out the window.
You don't need that no more. I'm everything you need. You got me live and in color.
But the reality of it is, there was never a boundary. We never talked about that. Do we keep things from our exes, or what is it? Like, what's the boundary? Do we talk to? Are we having friends in the relationship? Do we have, friends of the opposite sex? That's a conversation that needs to be had.
Right.
Because your friend is my friend and my friend is yours. What's the boundary? Are we texting other people of the opposite sex? Are we going out to lunches? You need to.
Better know.
Yeah, you better know. Then again, like we talked about earlier, it was undisclosed expectation. We ain't never said we couldn't go to lunch with different people. Well, she should just know I don't want her going to lunch with no nigga.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord.
See?
Well,
she ghetto.
It is what it is. Well, she should just know I don't want her going to lunch with no other guy. But if this ain't nothing that we've ever discussed and I've done this, hey, I don't know. You have a problem with it because you do what you want to do. And you go to lunch with other people when you want to go. So I never knew that it was an issue. So don't have a double standard.
Does anybody else have any questions? Jackie, she said your hair was cute. Hey,
Jackie. Hey, thank you, Jackie.
Ella Moore, LLC, thank you for joining us. Smokey Johns, what's up, boy?
This is my own doing. I did these myself. It took me a long time. And they look a little wonky.
She be doing all our hair, really.
Excuse me. They
that's
look a little janky, but that's all right. They came together. They do. You don't know. You don't know.
They shiny?
Yeah, because I put all on them. But
does anybody else have any other questions? Because we coming up with just 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
Retention, boy, the
We've been on here for
retention.
an hour and 30 minutes.
See, let me say, I'm finna tell on her real quick.
That is too
She
long.
don't never know what time it is. She don't never know what time it is at all. You see why she covering her face? Because she don't never know. We got somewhere to go.
Listen.
What time is it? Why? So you cannot know. You're not gonna know.
Time
Give me
going,
5 minutes.
Y'all, time go by so fast, especially when you having fun.
Time just go by.
Time go.
Good night, Rashida.
Okay, y'all. We
All
gonna
right,
go.
well, if y'all don't have no other questions, thank y'all so much. Please
Thank y'all
share.
so
If you haven't
much.
subscribed to Marriage is Real, please subscribe on Instagram. Go to our Facebook page, like that. We've been starting to post videos again on YouTube, snippets of videos. If y'all have any questions about
Did
anything,
you say snippets?
I said snippets.
Oh,
What do you think I said?
snippets.
That's not a word.
I know. That's why I was like, what did you say? Snippets of
You can
videos.
go to. You're interrupting me.
Sorry. Snippets
Marriage
of videos.
is real at gmail.com. If y'all have any questions, y'all can inbox us. We answer questions, coaching, all that kind of stuff. I don't know what happened right there.
Yes,
But,
that's all.
Thank y'all again. Y'all have a good night. We love y'all. If y'all need us, y'all know where to find us. Peace.
Thank y'all. Deuces and trays.